Today is the first of the video series on the Guided by Safety podcast. Let's discuss the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle and see exactly how we can fit it into our safety management systems. First things first, let's talk about the history of the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle. William Edward Deming was an American engineer, a statistician and a management consultant. He was instrumental to rebuild Japan's infrastructure after World War II and is known as the father of quality management. In the 1950s, Deming proposed that business processes be placed in a continuous loop so managers can identify and change the parts that need improving. To do this, he created a diagram to illustrate this continuous progress. This is the Deming cycle, or more commonly known as the PDCA cycle. And we know that is plan, do, check and act. How are we going to use this theory to manage safety systems? Let's see how in this presentation. Now, let's go to the countdown.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis.
I was looking at certain Niboshi type HSG 65 Plan, Do, Check, Act questions, and they were based on around how the cycle operated and worked. Upon reading it though, I was baffled as to what it was telling me. I mean, they're not very descriptive when it comes to those questions. So I decided to dig a little deeper and deliver a presentation about it. What is the PDCA cycle? And it's a management system used for problem solving and continuous improvement on how we manage safety within our companies. Originally, this is a borrowed approach from quality management, but is also commonly used to describe safety management systems in both HSG 65 and the new ISO 45001 standard. Its methodology consists of how to continuously improve our business, the way we do things, and in our case, we want to continuously improve the way we manage health and safety by planning new ideas, doing the ideas we have planned, checking the ideas in progress. Then, at the end of the cycle, we review the ideas that we planned to see how well they have performed, and then we act on that performance. You need to check to see if the new ideas have been effective. If yes, then we look for more tangible and achievable ideas and follow the cycle back around for continuous improvement. If there's been no improvement or our ideas have been worse than the last campaign, then we need to collect all the data and evidence and implement a better solution and follow the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle back around again until we get where we need to be and see evidence of continuous improvement. Why do we need a safety management system like the PDCA cycle? Because we want to get better at what we do, basically. And it's a legal duty, as required by the Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulations 1999. There's a legal duty that must be put in place for suitable arrangements to manage health and safety within our business. We want to see substantial evidence and data that we are managing our business for legal, economic, and moral reasons. Here's the model we follow, and we just go round in a continuous loop, seeing results every time we cycle round. Okay, and it's plan, do, check, act. So the starting point is plan, and then do, and then check, and then act. However, it could be argued that the act stage is our starting point because you develop ideas based on results. So we need to review the evidence and data first in order for us to come up with ideas and plans. Does that make any sense? Okay, so here's the presentation that I've prepared. Plan, do, check, act. And we're going to go zoom in to plan first. Plan your work. Plan the objectives that we have. We need to solve problems. When it comes to health and safety, we want to reduce incidents, ill health and accident statistics. As the old saying goes, plan our work and then work our plan. What's our objective then? For example, we might want to reduce accidents and incidents by an achievable and tangible goal of 20%. We want to do better than the previous campaign and show improvement by reducing the previous statistics. When it comes to planning, we can never really plan from opinions only. It's better to have substantial evidence like data and statistics to justify exactly why we need to plan, just to see exactly how we are currently managing things and how we want to improve things to legally comply with the law, economically save money and morally keep our workforce happy and healthy. So, how exactly are we going to plan? And information gathering, we need evidence, data and statistics. This could be anything from incidents, accident reports, injuries, near misses or hazard reports, sickness records, safety tours, results of health screening, etc. Or do we have any key performance indicators, KPIs, from the previous campaign? Or can we perform a gap analysis to identify if there are any gaps in the current safety management system? So we've gone through and managed to collect data from the last campaign or regime or whatever you want to call it, last year's work. We've noticed there's been a number of incidents and accidents. There's been people falling from height, being struck by moving objects or vehicle accidents on site or whatever. We then generate ideas, and these are ideas that we think can improve and reduce the general health and safety statistics moving on forward from our planning. To move forward from our planning stage, we need to address issues such as how are we going to risk assess and control the risks associated with the poor results of the last campaign? What is the most suitable equipment from a safety perspective that we need? We need to put emergency procedures in place, and we need to have training requirements to educate our workforce on the hazards and risks that might be present in a workplace. Is there any PPE equipment or additional PPE required for the workplace activities? So we want to budget for resources. And then we need to look at how we're going to monitor success, like proactive approaches such as carrying out safety tours, holding regular safety meetings, or carrying out audits. Then we look at reactive measures, and these could be anything from reporting on near misses or how we are going to conduct incident and accident investigations. We have gone through the process of identifying where we are now and where we need to be. Then we should also make sure that we are meeting the requirements of our organisation's health and safety policy. In the policy, it will state what it is we want to achieve, how we're going to achieve it, how we will monitor success, and who's responsible for what, from the leaders to the managers to the supervisors to the workforce. The policy will address all what we are planning to do, so it keeps everyone in the know and in the loop. The policy will be written up and signed by the managing director to demonstrate commitment to the plan, and then the policy will be communicated out into the workforce. So in summary, we plan where we are, what it is we need to do, how we are going to do it, and who's going to do it. Then we put it into a policy which is signed by the managing director to show commitment in a statement of intent, and then we communicate it out to the workforce. Do. Identification of risks. The do stage starts with identifying the organisation's risk profile, assessing the risks, identifying what could cause harm in the workplace, who it could harm and how, and what needs to be done to manage the risk. So it's risk assessing. Just follow your 5-step guide. There could already be a specific risk we need to reevaluate, or we may need to review our existing risk assessments due to the previous campaign's poor results of hazard reports, near misses, injuries and accidents, etc. The aim is to assess the nature and the level of risks and to see the effectiveness of the controls in place to manage those risks faced by our organisation. Let's see what we can put in place to make our day-to-day activities in the workplace safer. Risk assessments may indicate if we need regular health surveillance, if we are working with hazardous materials, regarding if the risks in the workplace meets the relevant criteria when it comes to the cost requirements, or do we need medicals for working with asbestos or substances that we may produce that are ill to our health. Health surveillance sets a benchmark to the health of our staff. In the next phase of the cycle check, then you may have plans to revisit health surveillance to ensure that our staff's health isn't deteriorating due to the work that is being carried out. This allows us to put additional control measures in place and to document everything. Once we've assessed the risk profile and decided what the biggest priorities are, and identified what could cause harm and how, we need to then organise. And the foundations of organising is based on the 4 C's: control, communication, coordination and competence. We want to organise by ensuring everyone knows their roles and responsibilities, and ensuring communication procedures. We ensure that there's cooperation and coordination between the departments. We need to ensure that the workforce are competent to carry out their tasks, and we pump training through to help people gain the skills and knowledge so that they are willingly confident and competent to carry out the work. We organise activities. When we organise activities, we want to make sure that everyone gets involved in communicating health and safety throughout the process, and providing the right training makes a massive difference in contributing to reducing accidents. If we get a great culture, we find that individuals become more willing to take on specific health and safety related roles, such as fire wardens, first aiders and safety representatives. So the attitude towards health and safety needs to be good in the workplace. It's our job as safety professionals to remove any stigmas that may be attached to health and safety in the workplace, such as blame cultures. You get more out of people when you don't dictate to people. Before we put everything into motion, we need to check to ensure that risks are adequately controlled, correct maintenance procedures are in place, and providing information, instruction, training and supervision to ensure that people are competent and that procedures are followed. The last part of the do stage is implement your plan, and we need to implement our plan and put it to work. So in summary, for do, we identify risks through suitable and sufficient risk assessments. We organise the plans that we have set by using the 4 C's: control, communication, coordination and competence, and then we implement the plan. We put it to work. Check. As the wheels are turning around and what we have planned is in motion, we need to measure performance. This is an important stage. We've set the wheels of the ideas of our plan to work and we are carefully observing it. Once we have implemented our plan, we need to ensure that it's working effectively. To achieve this, we need to measure performance. Good quality performance monitoring will help us identify problems, understand why the problems may have arisen, and understand what changes are necessary to resolve the issues. How do we do this? Voila! There are numerous ways that we can measure our performance by taking proactive measures and following monitoring procedures. Inspection of the workplace, plant and equipment carried out on a regular or scheduled basis by weekly safety tours. Job observations to check the effective operation of the workplace, precautions to ensure our workforce are wearing PPE, adhering to risk assessments and method statements, etc. We can carry out audits to ensure we are keeping to our policy promise and said what we were going to do. Health surveillance. We might want to carry out more health surveillance or issue health questionnaires to our workforce to ensure that their health isn't deteriorating due to the work being carried out, so we can identify issues and put additional control measures in place. Also as well, we can carry out environmental monitoring, for example, measuring noise or dust levels. Also, we need consultation with our staff, hold regular safety meetings, carry out surveys and issue questionnaires. All this feedback is essential. We may need to monitor how the staff feel about our ideas. They could be really happy, or there could be frustration between departments. We need to ensure that our ideas are achievable and are not putting too much pressure on the staff or alienating them in any way. Investigating causes of accidents, incidents or near misses. These are reactive measures and will identify if there are definite flaws in the plan. We need to act upon hazard reports, near misses and learn lessons immediately with a hope that they do not develop into accidents or incidents. If we haven't too many accidents or incidents, then there's something definitely wrong with our plan. We may consider going back to the plan at this point, right at the start, to address why our ideas are failing. If we are not on course for our target, then we need to get back onto course. What we are doing must meet the levels we expect them to. So if it's not, well, we act on our findings. Act. Review our performance. The final act stage requires review of performance and learning from accidents and incidents, ill health data, errors and relevant experience, including experiences of other organisations. This is called benchmarking. We want to compare ourselves to what other organisations are doing. It's a competitive world out there. Plus, you can gain some good intel and knowledge. And then we can revisit plans, policy documents, and risk assessments to see if they need updating and take action on lessons learned, including those from audit and inspection reports. So, we introduced the program at the plan stage, which included all what we wanted to achieve. We wanted to reduce accident, ill health and incident rates by 20%, and we put a number of tasks into effect to make this happen. Now that everything from this campaign has been documented, then were we successful in achieving our goals? If the answer is yes, stick to the same methods. It's a proven winning formula. Set another goal for the next campaign to bring the statistics down to another 20%. Maybe add in some more little ideas. But remember, small and achievable targets. That's the key. If we didn't get what we wanted, or we thought, we thought we could have done better, then we go back to the drawing board at the plan stage and come up with new ideas and begin the process again. The idea is to repeat the cycle over and over, getting better each time we go around. Continuously improvement. You set small and achievable goals. Don't say we plan to run a campaign where we are going to have a 100 accident-free record. That's way too unrealistic. In an ideal world, there would be no accidents or injuries. But that's not how things work. Even if you want to reduce the accidents in 1 year by 50%, I think that's still a bit too much. Small and tangible. So you eventually get where you need to be by repeating the PDCA cycle. You've got to be realistic when it comes to achieving success. And that's it, guys. That's the end of the presentation. So let's go to a summary. In summary, we plan what we want to achieve and who will be responsible for what, how we will achieve our aims, and how we will measure our success. We do identify our risk profile, organise our activities to deliver our plan. We check, measure our performance, assess how well the risks are being controlled, and investigate the causes of accidents, incidents, or near misses. And finally, we act. Review our performance and take action on lessons learned, including from audit and inspection reports. And that is the end of the presentation. If you like what I do or you enjoy my content, then be sure to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as it will help me out a lot in providing you with the best content I can. Be sure to like and subscribe to my Spotify and iTunes accounts, where I provide regular updates on health and safety issues. In the next up and coming months, we will be discussing more general health and safety issues. We will tackle certain knee-bossy type questions, and also I will try my best to record live study groups to help you guys out with your knee-boss exams. Until then, this is David Bush signing out.